Hi everybody, it's time for an update about what's happening globally financially, because so many mixed messages are appearing in the media. The media would have us believe that everything's fine, that the jobless are finding jobs, that the economy is turning towards growth again, but what's really happening? So I'm going to summarise some questions that I'm receiving regularly from people, and the first one is my money safe in a bank anywhere in the world? And the answer to that in a word is no. Potentially, with what's happened in Cyprus, where they've taken large depositors' money, could now happen anywhere. Why? Well, recently the Bank of England and the FDIC have said that it's going to be fine now for banks to bail in the banks. What does that mean? It means if your bank gets into trouble, it's entitled by law to take your savings. So whether you've got a large amount of money or a small amount of money, I'm going to suggest to you that you have at least 6 months' expenses, living expenses, outside of the bank, outside of the system, anywhere. If you've got to put it under your mattress, stick it under your mattress if you have to. But what I'm suggesting is there's a possibility that they may freeze bank accounts so you can't get to your money, and let's say you've got bills to be paid, you've got a mortgage to pay. What are you going to do? So that's my suggestion. I don't think any bank now worldwide is 100% safe, and I think it's very important that people realise this, that you realise it, that you listen to it. We are going through this square of Pluto in Capricorn to Uranus in Aries. And this is a tension between the governments and the people who want to control us, and Uranus in Aries, which is about the people being free and being independent and taking responsibility for their own destiny. And that's one of the most important points I want to make from this video. You need to be in charge, and you need to get yourself out of the system to the best possible way you can. So what do I mean by being out of the system? Well, what I mean is that you do need banks for transactions, no doubt about it. We need them to pay bills with and to pay people and to use them for that level, but not for our savings, not for the extra bit of money that we've worked so hard for, maybe for a holiday or a car or your pension or whatever it is. This is money we've worked very hard for. So you don't want just a bank to turn around and say, well, thanks very much, but we're going to keep your money now, or we're going to freeze your money at the very best. What happens if they freeze it and you can't get to it for months and months and months? So I'm suggesting that you keep minimal amounts of money in the bank, and the most of it, that you either take some of it out of the bank and maybe put it into real estate. I'm being asked all the time, should I buy real estate? And especially as interest rates are so low, people are saying to me, well, isn't this a wonderful time to take out debt? Well, it is and it isn't. It is if you know that you've got at least 6 months mortgage set aside outside of a bank, because none of the banks are safe now. And also if you haven't over-leveraged yourself, if you've not taken out too much of a loan, because many people's jobs and incomes are not as stable as they used to be. In fact, I don't think there is job stability anymore, and there's not going to be, I think, in the years that come. This Uranus in Aries is going to trigger many of us becoming entrepreneurs. How can we again take care of our own destiny instead of being dependent on these big corporations, Pluto in Capricorn? It's breaking out of that. It's finding ways in which we can do what we love and at the same time earn a living from that. And I think that's becoming more and more possible for more of us if we're open to it. So the main message of this video that I want to get over to you is no bank is safe. And the second thing I want to say to you is that yes, if you want to buy real estate, buy it, but you must have a 10-year view. I think that until Pluto gets out of Capricorn in 2023, which is 10 years away, at that point we may have a restructuring of the system in place. And then eventually real estate prices will go up. It's just a question of being able to deal with the volatility and the ups and downs between now and then. I've got a lot more to tell you, and I'm going to put it into a separate video. so that for those of you that can only take a certain amount of information at one time, this won't be overwhelming for you. And so I thank you very much for listening. And the other thing I need to just add is this Uranus in Aries has a tendency to act precipitously. Be careful that you don't act too quickly and that you don't get too attached to a particular deal. There's always another one coming along, to quote Donald Trump. So I thank you very much for listening. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, what's going on in your country, in your city, in your state. Let's try and feed each other information so that we can again give one another a heads up and be ahead of the game. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.